Mod Series 2, aka Stephen Moffat's Darksiders, continues with episode 3 and a crushing bore, imminent death. I love how the faces in the intro look like they've just seen it for the first time and are blown away by how fucking amazing it is. Yes, even the dogs.
Last week, right? Really good. I'm still recovering. There was what? There was fighting, then a bit more fighting, then some more fighting.
Pretty sure that's exactly how the sequel to Don Quixote started.
And then a bit more fighting. Not much kissing, but who knows?
You're not convincing me I'm wrong. Mrs. Deers, as befitting someone called the Evil One, cheerfully leaves them to an easily escapable and overly elaborate and exotic death.
Think strong! Think strength! Think Sylvester Stallone! Dolph Lundgren!
Think about the old man's magic powers that he's pointedly not using. Because if they die there, there'll be literally no better time. Ruby decides to find out if the accent would rather kiss Bill or Mark can take that. Seen here.
Who's better? Mark can take that or Bill. Ruby!
The issue came up because apparently it's hard to tell which of the two is more hunky and strong.
Mark can take that. He's really hunky and strong and good looking. Better than you. Not.
Okay, I can't really argue that is a very difficult question.
Bill, I guess. Look, Mark can take that. He's really hunky and he's strong. Well, you're really hunky. Yeah?
Honestly, I think the least realistic part of this show is that none of the adults have tried to use the kids to brace the walls. I gotta say, I like how the soundtrack is nearly literally adding insult to injury by laughing at them. Having completely set up their relationship, it's time for Dalston's powers to be revealed. You see, like any well-balanced D&D party, they need a strong guy, and since he looks the most likely to break an orc in half, he's got the job.
Of all the horsemen of Conegar, you are the mightiest, who slaughtered the two-headed dragon of Dacre.
Okay, I didn't expect them to literally be a D&D team, so I'll start again. You see, like any well-balanced superhero team, there's always a strong guy, and since he's the one that looks most like Guido Carosella, he's got the job.
Who was it who single-mindedly defeated the troglodyte?
Since they were Avengers villains, probably not him.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about the Barsack. Who? You are the mighty Barsack.
In ancient Rome, you were called testicules.
You have the strength, now use it. No. Use it. Miss Dodgery. Use it!
You know, someone being irritated until they get superpowers just so they can shut someone else up. It's a story idea that more anti-dick films need to borrow.
Use it!
And use it he does, to apparently crap himself. Because, like the man indicated, they're all literal reincarnations of some kind of pre-Christian mythical heroes. In much the same way that I'm a reincarnation of me, because no one else is capable of being as awesome as I am.
Who are you? Who are you? I am the Barsack!
A little was changed in the translation over the years, but he was so named because a parsec is roughly a far I can yell. That's gonna make chase scenes much quicker from now on. Anyway, Miss Deers is headed to the police station in search of assistance. Dim-witted assistance is traditional after all. And with two, she has a spare if she has to murder one for failing her for the last time.
See, come the day of destruction, I'm going to have to wreak a terrible revenge on the world. Oh. Pillaging, plundering, burning, torturing, all sorts of vileness.
Of course, from the criminal's point of view, they've just been released by a very nice but delusional old lady. Now, they can think of some ways to make some cash out of someone like her, but that would require more villainy than they're really prepared for, so they decide to duck out.
I said I'm going to need some help.
Yeah, we'll have a good one.
Naturally, Miss Deers does the logical thing, other than checking out Rent-A-Goon, and turns them into dogs.
Vic, you're a dog?
That dog has given the best performance in the show. It's all very clever, plus sorceressing, because one, only she can turn them back, and two, dogs are really loyal. Anyway, now that they believe in this 5 horsemen stuff, everyone's really interested in finding out what their much cooler pre-incarnations with powers and skills and stuff are called.
There is the Barsack, Nimbar, Galiath, and Gorka.
Oh yeah? What's my really excellent name then?
Kenny.
Hey! No! I can't be Kenny!
Oh my god, you called me Kenny! You bastards!
Okay. Shut up, Ruby!
Anyway, there's almost 5 episodes left to fill, so our heroes need to get a mythical weapon to use against Miss Deers / the Evil One.
Without the sword, you cannot battle the evil one.
But first, the police, because they're sure to have one in the back.
In the larder, I've got a nice chop and a bit of braising steak.
Honestly, I love this. Most shows like this would have her pleasant, friendly, elderly demeanor be a disguise to lure people in, but not her. She is literally a nice old lady who just really wants to destroy the world.
Oh no, it's the horseman. If it's not one disappointment, it's another. Just like my jams.
Do your jams usually try to foil your evil schemes?
Church fate jam competition. Do my jams win? No, they do not. Hilary Boxton's jams always wins, and she cheats.
Oh, well, that makes a disappointing bit of sense. Anyway, Miss Deers disguised herself as the cop that she knocked out / killed off screen to throw them off the trail. The trail of, I don't really know, because the sword's meant to be hidden in a church, not a police station.
Mrs. Deers, evil. Well, I know she can get a bit miffed when she doesn't win the jam competition, but you can't blame her. Not with Hilary Boxton cheating like she does. We are wasting time!
What he said. So they press on, but what do you know? Ruby left Steve at the station, so it's time for some old-fashioned, nefarious impersonation. Of course, the church they need to get to is the top of this cliff railway. Exactly the sort of thing that Tom Scott would do a charming 3-minute video about.
Opened in 1890, this cliff railway has been adopted by many other seaside towns. But this remains the most spectacular and impressive of all cliff railways.
That's almost word for word what he'd say too.
Enjoy your holiday, Sally.
Get a life, William!
Church of Cunningham, this way!
And you enjoy yourselves too, Missy.
Don't touch.
Oh, you're a feisty little sausage.
I said don't touch.
Oh, you saucy little...
You know, justice one's murder might be deserved. I mean, evil is one thing, but touching someone when they tell you not to is not cool. Unlike evil, which often is. Anyway, actual Ruby decides to kill some time by teaching some new dog some old tricks. As you might expect, Trev's quite good at being a dog and takes Ruby's training like a dog to Ruby's training. Vic too, but he's less happy about it.
Look, there's your stupid trick.
Boy, good dog.
Anyway, she convinces them both to play dead, and the one who does it longest is going to get a sweet. And because they might actually be stupider than real dogs, the plan works and she's out of there.
Ruby? Ruby?
Ruby!
We've got an out, Trev!
This brief moment of competence from the criminals is interrupted by Trev's attempts to get laid.
So, what do you do when you're not tied to a bin? 'Cause I'm going to be in town for a while. I was thinking maybe we could,
This is episode 3, and one of the leads is engaging in attempted dog fucking. Just imagine what's going to happen in the next 4 episodes.
Remember what Mrs. Deer said? If we let her escape, we're dogs for the rest of our lives.
I don't mind. I quite like being a dog.
It means I don't have to feel weird about fucking her. Just 3 episodes ago in series 1, the weirdest thing in this show, apart from the feral child who grew up in an English forest, was a lost balloon. This amazing evolution will continue, and of course Ruby escapes again. Vic Dog, which sounds like Michael Vick after an ironic punishment, desperately tries to find Ruby, not by looking down the coast or smelling, but by using a telescope, which I assume is a comfort thing. Unfortunately, she didn't escape out to sea.
Look, I just want to know where the Church of Conigar is.
You'll have to take the Cliff Railway.
Cliff what?
Well, you go right at the bakery. No, you go left at the bakery. Or is that at the butcher's?
Deep in the bowels of the church, which I assume they broke into, the old man starts chanting, partially to help him find the weapon, but mostly for the atmosphere. Why his chanting sounds like a comedy Frenchman doing beatnik poetry, I have no fucking idea.
I'll tell you one thing, any more of this poetry reading, I'm getting out of here.
Oh, it's all very arty and educational.
Anyway, Dalston, being the strong dude, might just open the crypt, and what do you know? Everyone's too scared to look inside.
Look in.
looking?
I'm not looking in. Ronnie? I'm not looking in. There'll be bones and skulls.
Only if that crypt belongs to Joseph Haydn.
Well, we'll all look in.
After 3.
1, 2, 3!
Oh my god, you tricked Kenny! You bastards!
Just some old dead bloke who...
So, what's a crypt without some kind of zombie guardian? Answer, terribly boring indeed.
Welcome to die!
Holy fuck, it's Maximilian from the end of the black hole. This does not make that movie's ending make any more sense.
And then you go up past the... No, down past
Can
the...
you hurry up, please?
What's the rush?
That's why.
So the criminals have caught up with Ruby, and I hope she has another trick that's only terribly clever because she's facing off against these two.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do with that?
Fetch!
Oh, Mud, I'm not even disappointed.
What are we doing?
Dunno, couldn't stop myself.
Come on.
Rather disappointingly, the lost skeleton cadaver's butch cousin just hands over the sword they need to defeat the evil one and goes back to sleep. Because I assume the writers wasted most of their creativity on the overarching plot.
Battle well, Five Horsemen. The evil one is an awesome adversary.
Which I will not help you defeat in any tangible way. Sucks to be you.
Now, I sleep. Our work here is done.
Built in 1890,
Let's go! I'm in a terrible hurry!
this cliff railway has been adopted by many other seaside towns. Now look, Missy, the timetable's... Stuff the timetable. Sean, move it.
I love that he rushes with all the speed of a man who's terrified that he's going to be arrested for the earlier lack of consensual touching. So she barely misses the others at the top of the hill, and even worse, she doesn't even stop to get a hot dog. After the time she's had, it will be something resembling poetic justice. But she doesn't miss him for long, and Miss Deere spots her approach. With the end of the episode fast approaching, what's an evil one to do? Well, how about making them fast approach their end?
I don't think you'll see the day of destruction.
Oi! You can't do that!
You dropped my Steve. Honestly, I don't know if Miss Deers would have a bigger advantage if she was in her own body or not.
Okay, Monica, only dogs can hear you now.
Shit is really beginning to heat up now, and seeing as this came out in 1995, as you can clearly see in this dude's outfit, it's really funny that this was doing serialization in a way that most dramas wouldn't touch for over 10 years. This was a good episode, but like I said last time, it's Mud Series 2, so they're all good, they're all imaginative, they're all on subtle kids shows, just to varying degrees.